Project Restoration Jeremiah 20 Hood. So we're going to continue with sales. Again, we establish credibility. The first two steps is establishing a discovery, rather, and finding out what people need, wants, and desires are. You do the meet and greet, and then you are able to establish for your company or whatever your ideology or whatever you're trying to impart. Remember, the bullets that you find are the ones that you must unload later on. Now, this is talking about the art of selling. So I'm not trying to, we're just tributing unto Caesar the things that be of Caesar. I'll give you a good example. We got a phone call on renting out our timeshare ownership. I'll just give you an example. And what we found out was that the guy called and said, well, you're an owner, right? Yeah, we said, yep, we're an owner. And then he said, well, we would like to help you rent out your unit. And the thing is, he didn't do the right discovery. He assumed we wanted to rent it out. He did ask how many family members we had. And that when the response was 12, then instead of doubling down, asking for more, which in this case would be more space, convenience, and privacy that we would want, because the hot button was you can take, especially loved ones, the urgencies that scream since the V19 about taking loved ones and big family gatherings and adventures. That's going to be a hot button for the summer. People are going to be getting out, going places. Instead, he assumed we wanted to rent out our ownership, which make no sense. Because you didn't ask, the defining question or qualifying question would be, well, how often do you use it? And why do you use it? As you get people to talking through how and why and how do you mean and why is that, third level questioning, they go deeper in explaining to you. And as they're explaining to you, they are putting themselves in the picture of what is important to them. Need, want, and desires. Now that's got discovery is your bullets, and they will tell you how to sell them at that point. You know what is important to them. This is not about what's important to you. This is taking your product or whatever your ideology is and serving whoever's in front of you. If you see them as money, you've already, go read Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Crabs Crawling Out of a Barrel. The bottom line is, you're servicing. If you don't get that in your head, it's going to hit you on a desperate day if you're in sales, and you're going to just be all over the place. Second, he assumed that he did a proper discovery. He assumed, and he ran too fast without asking the questions of how often you use it, why do you use it, where do you go, where do you want to go. Questions like that, he was in the weeds. This is still in a discovery. We're still in the discovery period. Before you can establish the credibility of your company, you got to make a friend first. Usually on a subject there's commonality and mutuality. That's meet and greet. And then you're repeating back things that are important to them. So if I heard you right, you like to go here, there, and there, right? Yes. And you want to go here, there, and there, right? So anyone, if the hot button was the elders for the family, then the hot button is elders. The urgency scream, hurry. The urgency scream, why today? You want to shut the door on why today, but you got to first shut the door on the trust. So as people begin to favor you because you have a third level listening ear, as you listen, as people engage to talk, they shift from the reptilian side of their brain to the midbrain, where the ether drops, what is satisfying to them. I didn't say what wasn't satisfying to you. Sales is not about you at all. It's all about the point in front of you and tying your product or your ideology to their needs, wants, and desires, which would be general. When a baby comes out of the womb and she begins to crawl, she starts adventuring. That's in every human being. That's a universal thing. That's commonality. And the ones, some people don't like to adventure, but there's always somebody in the bunch that do. So adventure would be the word that you look at, descriptive words, power phrases like how's it make, how cool is that or how great is that? It's some corny stuff. But how does it make you feel? Is a way of asking a question that they will begin to describe to you with descriptive words and put you in their picture. Once you're in their picture, you understand now that there's some satisfaction here because you went on a journey with them. And what was important to them now has become important to you. And now they'll feel your vibe, your energy on your spirit, on if you have a genuine interest, or you're going to smell salesy and blow it out. Anyway, he did not ask her any of those questions. He assumed she wanted to rent, and the pitch ended in the rent after he crunched a bunch of numbers. Well, this is how much money we can get back to you, but that was not the hot button. Now, if he would have found out that we don't use the product, if we had said that with our 12, what's the purpose of asking for how big the family is if you don't have a bigger unit? What we need is space, convenience, and privacy. Those are your just basics right there. That would be our hot buttons. So since you travel in a group of 12, then I don't need a 2-bedroom, I need a 4 that can sleep 16 people. See? Not only do you upgrade them to space, convenience, and privacy, but you just made them happy because now they don't have to listen to the babies. You find out how many grandkids they got, and they can have their privacy, space, and convenience, and even add longevity to their marriage. Longevity to their marriage because they are adventuring, the power phrase. And then you can establish tacking down the trust and the benefit of adventure. Doctors say longevity, and that's the truth. Taking trips saves your life. So I'm dealing with taking trips, but whatever your product is, just find out some of these things I'm sharing with you, because they cost me years and years and years and years and years of finding out information like this. This is just free coaching in a way, dealing with the art of sales. I read Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, about 110. I've been on sales floor. I can't mention all the companies. I've been around the block. I work for great companies, even in Sacktown here. Coldwell Banker, Lion, realestate.com up in Vegas, and then a bunch of qualifying companies that deal with sales. Bottom line is, if you don't establish the fact that the real hot button, the real need, the real answer to selling them was more space, convenience, and privacy. Instead, he went, do you want to rent out your unit? Of course, they make money off of that, but you didn't ask me if I use it. And how often do I do? My hot button might have been, I need to get more space, convenience. I need a 4-bedroom. That's what my need is. My want is a 4-bedroom because I want space, convenience, and privacy. Not only that, security is important to me. I don't want people smoking meth in the room next door to me. I want to be where owners are. And that's the law of scarcity. Now I'm tapping into the law of scarcity, and as I tap into that law, I'm tailoring this through this discovery of how I'm going to close or turn a table over to whoever your company is. When you go to your boss, you should have information about the person, just like you repeat back to them after discovery. So if I heard you right, this is what's important to you. That's what's important to you. Don't assume. He assumed that renting out a place was important to us. That was not important to us. We want to rent more places. Can you add to us, not take away? So he closed it, assuming that, well, here's what we do. Crunch a bunch of numbers, you have $5,000 in your pocket. I don't want $5,000 in my pocket. I want to spend the $5,000 because I'm ready to rock my wife or my children or grandchildren and enjoy life. I'm not ready to stay at home and watch TV and die of overeating. I want to go. So therefore, he missed the sale. And because he did that, he didn't do the discovery. He went straight to assuming they want to rent, and then he's reading addresses. He's reading, trying to establish credibility to gain the trust. This is where we are. You could call this number, blah, blah, blah. Reach me anytime. But the question is, are there any guarantees? Because now everyone is rolling with the big 5-9 companies. We call them 5-9 on the block. This is for the hood rats out there who want to do business too. Bottom line is, they establish credibility, man, on trust through guarantees now. Because there's too many people out there. The competition is ruthless and cutthroat. And you're going to be stuck sitting up there going, I ain't got no trust, because they don't know you. They don't even like you. You missed them a hello. We could learn a great deal from that right there, no matter what group you deal with, no matter if it's dealing with churches, if it's dealing with leaderships, if it's dealing with your business. If they don't like you, they don't want to buy. You're not even interested in what they're interested in. As I said before, somebody made a sale simply by listening and walking through a lady's house and appreciating praise and appreciation, gratitude on purpose, right? And having a common interest and actually adventuring with that person and learning from that person. They felt the vibe and they wanted to give the person their brand new antique car, not their relatives, not their neighbors, that person, plus buy their product. Sometimes it's just a matter of overselling, going past the sale. So he went past the sale, and I'm going to close it out right here. And he assumed that we didn't want to travel. We didn't want to go. And he assumed we wanted to rent out. Without a proper discovery, you cannot establish credibility of your company. You didn't hear them out right. How are you going to tie your product from your company to their need, wants, and desires? You do that in establishing the trust and checking the door based on what you know about the person and based on the benefits that your company and the flexibility of your company and of your product and the convenience of your company.